right. We're taking it nice. We're chilling out. We are blasting off from planet Earth. We're leaving it all behind. And we are going down the Jade Rabbit hole today. I'll be with you in just a moment. Lots of good news to get into. Lots of woo. A Nanogirl coming up in just over an hour's time. Dang, it's going to be a good one. There we go. Yes, indeedy. We're back. We're live. I hope you're all doing well out there today. No idea what music that is kicking in. And do you like my hat? I actually think I'm having a midlife crisis. Yes, I'm wearing my son's. I'm told it's a basketball hat. I've got absolutely no idea. No idea. It's a basketball hat, according to Anne. So yes. James, hope everything goes well, brother. Celtic cousin, good to see you. Pollination, dreams. It is, isn't it? It's rather chilled out music. I like to build this pre-show stream as the place you can come where we leave politics at the door. We leave anything too divisive where it needs to be left over on Twitterati. I'm doing really good. I'm so proud of myself. I am barely... still there, but I'm barely using it as much as I used to. So yes, I am very, very happy with one's self. And I hope you're all happy with your lot out there. Myself and Nanogirl, we'll sort that out for you when we get going today. We are going to be talking about a whole host of things, including building it back better. Yes, indeed. So that should give you a little indication, a little flavour of the topics to come when I'm joined by Nanogirl later. But folks, we have got some huge news. Huge news just in. You know how I used to work in the old, really, if I told you properly, I'd have to like get rid of you all. The royal signals, the satellites, the stuff that I can tell you about, and the stuff I can't tell you about. Well, some of the stuff I can't tell you about, it's really paid off. Paid off today. We've hit the payload. We've got pay dirt. And I have got an exclusive scoop coming for all of you. And it's out of this world. Literally, it's out of this world. I don't think I can contain myself anymore. I want to get right into our exclusive footage that no other media outlet in the world, just like that, sit in your mind for a moment. No other media outlet in the world has got their hands on what I've got my hands on today. Yeah, because we have got footage, very exclusive footage, of China's mission to the moon. Yes, we do. Beijing, yes. The Jade Rabbit has landed. Are we ready to take a look at this really, really, really HD top-notch cutting edge footage of what it looked like? The historic moment that China touched down, will we? Well, there we go. We go live to the moon right there. And I'm sure. Oh, look, what's this? What is that? Beijing. This is one small hop for Wabbit, but one giant leap for Wabbit kind. That's how it looked. Up on the moon. That's how it looked, honestly it is. Now, like I say, it's exclusive. You can't put that anywhere else. If you see it anywhere else, tell me. I'll be copywriting people. Yeah, ZX, the Jade Rabbit, and Summer's collection. We think so alike, bro. Too alike. I had been thinking of a really clever way to sneak in a joke like that, and you beat me to it. You beat me to it. See, yep, Malaya, see? And it, wow. I mean, War's beside himself watching our exclusive footage. Now, like I say, I intercepted this broadcast. I did. Look at it. Now you can tell it's absolutely real. How do you know it's real? Because Elon Musk says it looks that fake, it must be real. So look at him. Look. There he is. Oh, Jade Rabbit. Oh. Beijing, the Jade Rabbit has landed. I know that sounds really culturally inappropriate, but hey, wouldn't be me if I wasn't offending somebody out there, right? But yeah, like I say, you see any of these grifters using that and then trying to pass it off as real, I want to know about it. Hey, stranger things have happened, right? But how you all doing out there? We are going to be talking about the wascally wabbit. Yes, Welsh wabbit that we're that we're going to be talking about. Why am I laughing? That bloody word rabbit. You done that, ZX. You done it. You started it down that Jade rabbit hole. There's so many jokes you could crack about this, but being a guy that's into space, I kind of like it. It's kind of cool. And this is where we are now, isn't it? It's the space age all over again. It looked like it was really going to get going back in the 60s, 70s. But now, with the sci-fi world update, which is updating the code of the Matrix around us all the time, it's part of building back better, that we're going to get into a Nanogirl later on. This is going to be the literally the new frontier, folks, whether it's China, whether it's the US, whether it's the European Space Agency, the UK, Japan, India, so many different places, Israel, so many different places now with their own space programs. And of course, the loon. The loon? Well, yeah, the moon, which we were talking about last night with Mary Decina, it's like prime real estate for all of this. He who gets the moon will definitely have the upper hand when it comes to space dominance, or at least near space dominance. Now, we're going to get into the CHANG-E mission. We're going to talk about that. This is the CHANG-E 5. We've had the CHANG-E 4. But this one's kind of unique, kind of different, because it's only touching down for a short time. And then what it's going to do is it's going to blast off some samples back here. That rabbit that you've seen, it might not look like it, but it's very well equipped to take samples of the lunar surface, and then it's going to be coming back, and they'll be doing their sciencey stuff with all of that. So we're going to take a look at that. We have got one of the more bizarre stories about the moon that we've had in recent times. I may have mentioned the headline before, but we need to take a little look at the weirdest cargo in the world, or out of this world, that's going to the moon next year. They're sending ghosts to the moon. I've got that covered for you. We're also going to take a look at where the ETs were calling from when they phoned home. Remember the wow signal? Yeah, we're going to be taking a look at that as well. The thinking cap is on. Dave is in the house. Seriousness was left at the door with the politics, the religion, all that divisive stuff. We're in here. Crack open your virtual hammock. Gonna come into the chat room, see who's kicking about in there, or who's bouncing about. With it being one kind of minuscule leap for a rabbit's foot. One giant leap for rabbit kind. Hey, how do you know there's not rabbit aliens out there? Again, my mind goes back to Ann Summers. But anyway, we've got Malaya. Oh, the appropriately named Ms. Space Cake. I like that. I like it. You're right on time. I bet you that Jade Rabbit's having that. I know. We've gone from beaver moons to rabbits on the moon. What comes next? Boy, oh boy, there's a guy that married I can't even tell you. That's for another stream altogether. You thought it was weird in the UK when there was a guy or a woman marrying a ghost? Well, things got real weirder today, but hey, we might bring it up before the end of the stream. I don't want to get us demonetized this early on. Come on, man. CJ, how you doing, man? How are you doing? Well, when you do pass away, CJ, I might have you covered. We're going to take a look at a bonkers story. Bonkers story. But let's get to the rabbit first, shall we? Yes, said X. I heard you laughing there. I hope you didn't spout a mouthful of coffee. I blame you for all of this shenanigans that's going on today. Now, if you check over on the Kev Baker Show, the main channel, I uploaded not Malaya. I've still got to upload Malaya. I need to edit that, but I uploaded last night's show with Mary Decina. She is one interesting lady, and it fits perfectly with the information we've been having from Malaya. Fits with all the stuff from Australia. Fits with Nacy. I tell you, it's all going on. That was a great show. Mary will be back next month, as promised. We'll be opening up the phones for all of you. So there's Nanogirl for later today. Yep, that's how I feel when I hear about that stuff. I think we're all at that point right now, right? So, China. Yes, they land on the moon before returning Earth rocks, or returning to Earth with lunar rocks. So this comes from the bite 9 hours ago. We come down here, we'll see the historic moment. Now, admittedly, there's going to be a lot of controversy because this doesn't exactly match up the footage that I was given. So I don't know. There might be a bit of shenanigans going on somewhere. I don't know if it's them or if it's whoever gave it to me. Now, I can't tell you who gave it to me because that's not how you work on YouTube. If you want to really clickbait people, I have to tell you that I've got somebody I can't tell you about. He's really important. Works at a deep underground military base. And like I say, their footage contests what we're about to see here. This might be all wrong. So yeah, we'll put this up here. Is there any volume to it? I don't think there is, actually. It's probably the same kind of commentary that I was giving it. Nah, no volume to it. Rather disappointing. But there you go. Doesn't it look like cheese? Doesn't it? I think it looks like cheese. It goes, it's getting closer, it's going down. You see, that's the view from the rabbit's foot. Remember when you seen my rabbit coming down? Something like that. So, let's see what it says. Oh, look, there's the shadow of the rabbit. See? So, China's CHANG-E 5 mission successfully touched down on the moon on Tuesday. Come on, folks. Big round of applause. Well, China's CHANG-E 4 mission has been exploring the far side of the moon for close to 2 years. This new mission will last less than 1 lunar day. CHANG-E 5's robotic lander will spend a few days on the moon, The Verge reports, during which it's expected to dig up the first samples of lunar soil to be returned to the Earth since the mid-1970s. Now, if it succeeds, it would mean a wealth of new resources for scientists. Yes, indeedy. Says China is poised to become one of 3 countries to ever scoop up lunar samples and bring them back home. US astronauts gathered up moon rocks during its Apollo missions in the 1960s and 70s. Or did they? Since then, the only lunar sample return mission has been the Soviet Union's the motherland. Luna! I thought Luna was down under. Really? She's a Russian rocket. Who knew? The Lunar 24 lander in 1976, a great year. All you 76ers out there, yes, a very significant year. God, we're getting old now. A fully robotic mission that shows that CHANG-E 5's ultra-ambitious Rube Goldberg machine plan to return lunar samples to Earth could succeed. So China expects CHANG-E 5 to be back on the ground on Earth this time with its samples in hand, albeit a robotic hand, by the end of December. Pretty cool, eh? Separation between the lander and the ascent vehicle. That looks like something out of the 70s, doesn't it? You see, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Remember we were looking at the monolith and stuff like that? And we were kind of unimpressed by the fact that it would have rivets and screws in it. Look at the things we're sending into space. It looks like some of the leftover foil from Thanksgiving turkeys. It's just been whapped around something. I mean, if that landed on another planet, would the locals go, that can't be alien? They're using cooking foil to wrap things in. You see. I'm only joking, but it just makes you think, doesn't it? Doesn't it? And I know talking of space will trigger people. I'm hoping it does. I always like to know I've triggered at least one person a day. That fills me full of triggery joy. So yes, it says the relay race. Get exciting now. In order to get home, CHANG-E's 5 has to perform a complicated dance. We've seen it. We've seen the rabbit try to dance. It was kind of cool. The lander's robotic arm will scoop up samples and place them on top of an ascent module, according to The Verge. Now, that module will then have to launch from the moon to connect with another module that's still in orbit, which will then bring it back home to Earth. And that makes it sound really easy, doesn't it? Even though it was kind of difficult for me to read it because I'm stupid. But it makes it sound so easy, but just anything goes wrong. And you know that how many millions of dollars probably went into that? Gone. So if it all goes to plan, it'll be an incredible lunar heist, giving scientists pristine samples to study with, and perhaps will inspire NASA to actually get off their bums and do something. So why do we call it the Jade Rabbit? What's that all about? Why am I making up groove? I didn't make up graphics. It was that guy in the underground base, remember? He may have made up graphics that had a really green-looking rabbit. It's all to do with Chinese mythology and a story about the moon. You ready? Pull up your hammocks a bit closer. We're going to have our bedtime story. Well, it's not bedtime because we're only at the start of the KBS day. Anywho, let's get into this. The Moon Rabbit. On sale at $20.99 in Ann Summers. Or Moon Hair. You see, very woke. It's an accompaniment for a guy. We deal with all here. There's a mythical figure who lives on the moon in far eastern folklore. One moment. Now then, based on Pareidolia, Becky's asking what's up with the hat. You missed it. I think I'm going through a midlife crisis. Yeah, I do. I've got like this real burning desire to be like, I don't know, 7'2", running about a basketball court, looking cool in my prime again. You know, I'm gonna buy myself a leather jacket and a motorbike. That's usually the done thing for a midlife crisis, right? You got off lightly with my son's hat and a story about a rabbit. Yes, there's definitely a psychologist would have a field day with my choice of stories. Wonder what they would interpret out of that. But the Jade Rabbit, based on Pareidolia. Remember that thing we always talk about? The fact that our brain, whether we like it or not, whether we're even aware of it or not, it loves to form narratives. It loves to connect dots, even if those dots don't connect or not. It hates random. It likes to make sense of things. So Pareidolia, we've talked about clouds before, how if you stare at them long enough, you know, you'll start to see things. You stare at a TV with static on it, sometimes you'll start to see shapes. Even with stories and current events, when you get a set of facts or a set of information in, we tend to find if there's connections there, whether there is or not. Pareidolia. So, based on Pareidolia interpretations that identify the dark markings on the near side of the moon as a rabbit or hare. Now, the folklore originated in China and then spread to other Asian cultures. In East Asian folklore, the rabbit is seen as pounding with a mortar and pestle. Interesting. But the contents of the mortar differ among Chinese, Japanese, and Korean folklore. In Chinese folklore, the rabbit often is portrayed as a companion of the moon goddess, CHANG-E. There you go. So, China's mission, CHANG-E 5, constantly pounding the elixir of life for her. But in Japanese and Korean versions, the rabbit is pounding These rabbits and pounding doesn't take away any of the comedy value, eh? Ingredients for mochi or some other type of rice cakes. In some Chinese versions, the rabbit pounds medicine. There's just no stopping this rabbit. For the mortals, unrelated moon folklore arising among native cultures of the Americas also have rabbit themes and characters. So we'll take a little look at this. It says an early Chinese source called Chu-Si, a Western Han anthology of Chinese poems from the Warring States period, notes that along with a toad, there is a hare on the moon who constantly pounds herbs for the immortals. The notion is supported by later texts, including the Song era, Taiping, Imperial Reader. Now, as rabbits were not yet introduced to China during Western Han, the original image was not a rabbit, but a hare. And the Han dynasty poets call the hare on the moon the jade hare, or the gold hare. And these phases were often used in place of the word of the moon. A famous poet of Tang, China, Li Bei, relates how the rabbit in the moon pounds the medicine in vain in his poem, The Old Dust. Trying not to laugh, trying my hardest, but there you go, yep. We have got the Chinese on the moon, taking samples, about to send them home. And I think really, with the Space Force now in effect, and they've got the X-37B, the not-so-secret spy plane, very secretive as to what it does up there. But they've got that now, and we see more and more satellites going up every week, you know, constantly. Whether it's Starlink satellites, whether it's other ones, space is that next frontier. And this whole sci-fi age we're moving into, expect lots more news coming from near Earth orbit, the moon, further afield as well. Because with telescopes getting better all the time, and the James Webb about to go up there very soon, and with AI, remember, all of the data that we already have might answer a lot of the questions that we still have. It's just so much vast data that's been collected over the decades from radio telescopes around the world. So once you employ AI to look at that, things like the WOW signal that we're going to take a look at in a bit, they might become a little clearer. Why? Is it because the AI has pareidolia? There's a thought. You know, we know that the AI loves to find patterns. In fact, it finds patterns we would never look for, which gives us insights we never even thought were there. But what if, like a human mind, and it's based on the way the human mind works, could it be prone to finding pareidolia? As in, could the AI start seeing patterns that aren't necessarily there? Well, that was a deep thought for a KBS pre-show stream. But I will be back in just a moment. I'll let you all ponder that, ladies and gentlemen, before I blow your eardrums out. Then we'll get into the strangest, spookiest, ghostly cargo that's getting sent to the moon next year. Oh, and China don't have a thing to do with this. That's right, folks. Only in 2020 did we ever stand a chance of talking about hairless rabbits on the moon. Wascally wabbits. see, I always give you that sneak peek of the VIP lounge. If you want to get into the VIP lounge, it's real simple. If you like what we're doing here, and I get it, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. All you got to do, though, is click that big shiny join button down below, and that will take you into the area you need to be if you want to support the channel that little bit more. But you don't have to. We'll still be here 6 days a week. 7 days a week, really, but you get that added little bonus of the members stream on a Sunday. It's only meant to be a quick thing. Developing into some of the longer streams that we do. I just sit there and we have a laugh. We go over some stuff. Listen, it's a way for you out there if you do want to take that leap of faith, that one small step for mankind, or in this case, Kevkind, Davekind, then all you have to do, you have to jump off a spaceship or anything, just massage the like button. And if you don't want to join the channel, you can still play your part. Hit like, hit share, leave a comment after the stream. Either way, all good in the hood. I'll still keep bringing you some of the strangest content. The strangest content you're ever going to find on YouTube. We're not going to be the biggest or the best YouTube channel. I certainly strive to be one of the weirdest. I like that. Definitely striving to be the weirdest. Never thought that would be my ambition in life, but here we are. So, what if I was to tell you that something really weird happening around the moon next year, okay? Really weird. Now, something tells me, and I could be wrong, but we done a lot of shows, me and the Nanogirl, back in the day when Johnny Whistles was there, and we were doing our Nano Night every week on a Tuesday. Excuse me. But something in my mind tells me there's a familiarity to the next story I'm going to bring you. And if anyone would have told us about it on the show, it would definitely have to have been Nanogirl, right? I know Nano's listening right now. Big shout out to California. Nuisance, don't you dare play with her electricity today. I'll come over there myself and sort out Gavin Newsom if all that kind of crap happens. But I think Nano might have future-proofed us for this one. You know why? Do you know what they're sending to the moon next year? Crazy. I mean, I thought I had a kind of unique look or a unique take on how I would like to be remembered when I pass. Not meaning to be morbid. I've always joked with people that, you know, I'm quite up for being stuffed. Like, put me to a taxidermist. And I want to be stuffed in an interesting pose, though, right? I want to be looking like one way and pointing the other. So it, like, makes people, really causes people to pause and think. It's never going to happen. Nobody's going to stuff me. Anne doesn't want me stinking up the house. She's still going to stuff me and put me in the corner. But what if I was to tell you, there's a new option. And yeah, sure, it's kind of old world, you know, put in the ground. Past that now, right? Crematoriums, don't need them. What if I was to tell you, you can start sending your remains into orbit around the moon? Oh, come on, there it is. Yes. Now, what's kind of weird with this is, in recent days, a lot of talk about Arthur C. Clarke, right? Because of his involvement with 2001: A Space Odyssey. And the opening scenes of that film have what? They've got a bunch of Nicola Sturgeons all acting dead surprised when the monolith is there. And of course, we've had a monolith down here. So should it really be any surprise that Arthur C. Clarke, long after his passing, back in the news again recently, 14 days ago, memorial space flight, cremated remains flying to the moon on a private lander in 2021. You think you've seen anything in 2020? Oh, no. Things haven't even got started yet.
Come on, man.
That's the one I was after. Yeah, come on, man. 2021. It's going to be insane. Like I say, that they're sending ghosts to the moon. So it says here, if everything goes according to plan, the DNA of legendary sci-fi writer Arthur C. Clarke will be placed on the moon next year. Well, that's fitting because the moon is also home to a fictional alien monolith described by Clarke in his Space Odyssey series and rendered into visual manifestation by filmmaker and the guy who tried to show us a lot of things that were going on, Stanley Kubrick, in his epic movie, 2001, A Space Odyssey. So a Pittsburgh-based company, Astrobotics, Peregrine Mission 1 for NASA, is scheduled to launch in July 2021 atop a United Launch Alliance Vulcan Centaur rocket. I think Spock might be flying this one from Cape Canaveral, Florida, and then land in an area on the northeast part of the moon called Lacus Mortis. So among the many payloads on the robotic Peregrine lander are capsules containing symbolic portions of cremated remains of DNA samples, a service offered by Houston-based Celestis Inc. Now, Celestis calls the upcoming mission Luna 2, or the Tranquility Flight. My goodness. The latter name both honours the Apollo mission. It says Apollo 11 touchdown in the moon's Sea of Tranquility, and describes the final resting place and peace of mind for participants and their families, said Celestis co-founder and CEO, Mr. Moon, I'm telling you, Charles Schaefer. Nice name. Hi, Charles Schaefer here. That's a really sad name when you think about it. It says Celestius provides. I'm sorry, Charles. I've got nothing against your name, really. Don't sue me. Celestis provides a variety of mission options, Schaefer told Space.com. Our Luna service is among the most popular, as it affords families and friends the performance of an off-planet service and provides a constant reminder in the night of a loved one's final resting place. Am I on a different timeline? It makes it sound like there's already a booming trade and getting buried on the moon. Like, Luna is among the most popular, as it affords families and friends. What kind of families are sending their loved ones to the moon? Last time I checked, although Elon Musk has got the price coming down, it's still not in your average family's kind of budget to send you all to the moon one day. So you can what? What? Why? There's some things you just want to go, why? Well, I mean, Charles Schaefer, you're obviously a very intelligent man. When did this happen in your mind? How did this all come about? Did Charles himself lose somebody who yearned one day to be sent in their urn to just spend solitude and eternity, infinity up there on the moon, on the lunar surface? Was he sitting having a dump one day? Did it come to him on the toilet? You mean some of your best ideas come to people on the toilet? I don't know how this all came about. Maybe I think about things too much, right? Maybe I shouldn't really concern myself with how Charles Schaefer came up with the idea of launching corpses to the moon. And then how it sounds like, hey, hang on, Kev, this is like our best deal. People can't get enough of this. So the Luna 2 mission is the 18th Celestis Memorial spaceflight mission. The company has launched symbolic portions of cremated remains into suborbital space and Earth orbit, as well as the lunar surface. Did any of you know they're just jettisoning, like corpses into space? What? You see why this is like kind of perplexing to me. Celestis Luna 01 sent the cremains of the renowned astrogeologist Eugene Shoemaker. Well, I can guarantee you, Eugene, you don't need shoes where you're going. That was that Schumacher-Levy comet, right? Remember that? I didn't know they packed him in the cargo in a lunar prospector spacecraft. 1998? 1998? So he's been floating about up there for 22 years. And I've not done a show about it. I'm telling you, are we on a different timeline, folks? Did you know there was like a kind of growing industry of sending corpses into space? Definitely not getting monetized in this video. If you like what you see here, please consider becoming a member of the channel. Planetary scientist Carolyn Porco championed the proposal to honour the late scientist by sending his ashes to the moon. I'm sure the spirit of old Shoemaker was really happy at that. You know, kind of ghosting around the meeting that took place when they were deciding what to do. He's just kind of looking at all his old friends going, I miss you all. I wish I could join you for this meeting. And then he hears them plotting to send him to the moon. If that's what they do to you after you've passed, what did they think about you in life, mate? Bloody hell. And don't be sending me to the moon. I find this deeply disturbing. I mean, come on, man. So we come down here and it says at the end of Lunar Prospect's 19 months investigation of the moon. When did they go and do that? The spacecraft was deliberately crashed inside a crater of eternal darkness near the South Lunar Pole on July the 31st, 1999. The locale is now an enduring monument to Shoemaker. Okay, I had no idea. No idea. Learn something new every day, yeah? Our Luna 2 mission and subsequent Celestis Luna missions commemorate those who wish to make a tangible contribution to humanity's continued exploration and peaceful utilization of space, Schaefer said. As humanity expands beyond its limits of a single planet, it's particularly appropriate that we carry our rituals, celebrations, and memorials along with us. What are we going to do next? Start jettisoning like happy pre-wedding couples into space so they can just float about up there, get a crazy selfie taken. I tell you, I am living on a different timeline. This is talking like this has been going on forever. At least since 98 anyway, right? So the Peregrine lander is slated to have 6 celestial containers, each holding up to 10 to 13 space capsules. We're sending dead dudes into space. There's something wrong about this. No wonder these aliens come down and check on us from time to time and pull strings so that we can't get off this rock. Good Lord. Reservations for the Luna 02 flight, which had posted a starting price of $12,500 a piece, are now closed. Now, I must admit, that's rather cheaper than I thought this option would be. I might want to step back my initial kind of emotional reaction saying this wasn't priced for most families. Now it's just priced for like nearly most families. Okay, nearly not all families. I don't know. Who's this lady here? Symbolic portions. They've sent pieces of this woman into space. What are you doing? Portions of the cremated remains of lunar geologist Maretta West are on board the Tranquility flight. A wide variety of people will take the Celeste Tranquility Memorial Space Journey to the moon, including Elvis, Kurt Cobain, I don't know, Amy Winehouse. What are they going to do? Send a band up there? A steel worker, an airline executive, a British math teacher, and an American high school chemistry teacher. Did all these people like each other in the real world? I'm only asking because now they're kind of being condemned to spacing or spending eternity in a gasless, oxygenless moon, all hanging about together. You know? What effects does this have on the multiverse, ladies and gentlemen? Arthur C. Clarke in 1999, US space engineer Rick Fleeter travelled to Sri Lanka and collected air samples from Clarke so that the author's DNA could be flown into space. The English writer died in 2008 at the ripe old age of 90 years old in his adopted home of Sri Lanka. I'm not going to get into why he was living over there. Additionally, there's Maretta West, a lunar geologist who played a central role in determining the site for the first human landing on the moon. And 10-year-old Audrey June Langford, who passed away unfortunately in 2019. The ashes of Liam and Anne, who lost motorbike accident at the age of 16, will also make the trip. A family member explained in a testimonial posted on its Celestis website, "For now, Liam is going to the moon. Wherever we will be in this world, his siblings, his friends, his family will only need to look up at the moon and smile." Passionate skydiver Mika Couch is on the voyage too. Writes his wife, "Aiming big was the only option for Mika, and he wanted to go to space. Actually, not just space, he wanted to go to the moon. He should have been more specific about how he got there, but here we are. I'm pretty bloody sure he wanted to go to space when his spacesuit was still animated. I'm just saying." I don't know. Celeste isn't the only company. Oh my god. Well, like I say, it's a booming industry. Offering lunar memorial services on the 2021 Peregrine mission. San Francisco-based Elysium Space. Oh, you gotta worry when there's a start-up called Elysium Space, folks. That's all I'm saying. Is doing so as well. Elysium Space is charging, reasonably priced. $9,950 for the first 50 participants on the mission. And then $11,950 for later reservations. You can learn more about Elysium Space here. Let's take a look at this. Let's see how they try and sell us on being buried in space. A lunar memorial. Out of stock. Yeah, you're unlucky, folks. I hate to dash your dreams. Out of stock. Shall we?
T-minus
Music's probably going to be
3, 2, Atlas engine ignition, 1, 0, and...
We don't need to risk a copyright strike. It's going to be blatantly what it looks like. They're just going to fire a rocket into space and leave you there. That's nice. Just get touched down with the tin foil on it. See? Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. I tell you, I've lived all my life to get a space up there. Maybe you're probably all sitting out there maybe thinking, hey, Kev's a bit hard on this. It looks like a good idea. I don't know. Don't know about that. Dad. Celeste is the first company to have successfully conducted memorial spaceflight missions. The only company to have been selected by NASA to honour one of its scientists. And for more than 2 decades, an iconic pioneer and global leader of the commercial space age. The space age has been rolling on, at least in this company's mind, for the past couple of decades. Nice that they're now starting to bring us up to speed with it, isn't it? Isn't it? See all these Gucci toys and things that's been lying around? None of us knew. No, because it's one big club and we ain't in it. But I tell you what, I don't want to be in the dying to get to the moon club. I just don't, all right? I really, really don't. So I'm going to come back in a little minute. I'm going to get a little drink. I'm going to compose myself. I'm going to beg Anne not to send me to spend eternity on the moon. I think she's already trying to... In fact, she's probably got the GoFundMe set up. You can see people grifting on the back of this, right? Come on, audience, you know you want to send me to the moon. It might be in 30 years from now, but... all you got to do is go to my GoFundMe. I'm only joking. Wingsuits on the moon would be amazing, wouldn't it? When I open Sitchin's Kitchen, myself, Scotty and Joe and Popeye, obviously we'll have the woodshed right behind it as well. But I think there's definitely room for entrepreneurs to start wingsuit lessons up on the moon. I'm there. Couple of like Egyptian belly dancers or something for that music. I think it would go rather well, don't you? Belly dancing music, definitely. There you go. We've got belly dancers, we've got rabbits, we've got hares. We've got people dying to get to the moon. And one last thing before we go away today. What about that wow message? Remember that? Remember the wow? Wow! Probably be LOL if it happened nowadays, but the wow message. Here we go. Have we found where the wow message came from? Have we triangulated the intergalactic cell phone towers that this bounced off to get here? Probably not quite as cool as that, but I've got you covered. Let's see what it says, right? An amateur astronomer. See? You see, I've always said to you, you don't have to rely on the big kind of space agencies. It's going to be the amateur astronomers that bring us our eureka moments or our wow moments, right? I've always said that when it comes to Nibiru. When it comes to anything out there. The telescopes that amateur astronomers have today literally probably have more, arguably have more technology in them than anything NASA was using when we were flying people to the moon. You feel me? So astronomers, it says, an amateur astronomer has pinpointed the most likely star system from which the signal may have originated. Astronomers have been listening out for extraterrestrial signals for years, but one case, that of a strange signal picked up by a school telescope at Ohio State University 40 years ago, has since remained one of the most tantalizing and perplexing examples ever recorded. Now, originating in the cluster, or the globular cluster, sounds like something you'd spit out, a globular cluster of M55 in the constellation of Milungus, no Sagittarius. The peculiar signal lasted about 72 seconds. Come on, all you gematria people out there. I'm sure you'll have a field day with the numbers. We love our numbers, right? Astronomer Jerry Enham, or Eman, who was the first to examine the computer readout, famously wrote the word wow, wow on the page. Back in 2017, astronomers headed up by Antonio Paris from the St. Petersburg College of Florida. That's bloody confusing. He's got like Paris, St. Petersburg, and a college in Florida. That's really, really just like, you're just getting greedy with your geographical references there. So it determined that a passing comet may have produced the signal. But now amateur astronomer and Unexplained Mysteries Forum member Alberto Caballero believes that he has an alternative explanation. If this was, in fact, an intelligent alien signal, he argued, then it's most likely to have originated from an Earth-like exo or extrasolar world orbiting a sun-like star. By searching the Gaia database, which contains data on 1.3 billion stars, compiled by the team at the European Space Agency's Gaia Observatory, not to be mistaken with the TV network that talks about blue chickens, he was able to pinpoint the most likely candidate, a star with a rather uninspiring name, It's called 2 Mass 192-819-1982-2640-123. Thank goodness I don't have to remember that telephone number, which is almost identical to the sun and is situated in an area of the sky where the signal originated. Now, while there's no guarantee that the signal did come from a planet around this particular star, it does paint it as an interesting candidate for further study in the coming years. Who knows, perhaps there really is someone there attempting to communicate with us. Oh, doesn't this get the imagination going wild, doesn't it? Dang, it's like right up there with the monolith story. And of course, there may be other monoliths around. I thought I'd give you a day off from talking about the monolith. Even I'm nearly all monolith out. I'm really looking forward to getting Nano's take on the monolith. She'll definitely, I'll be asking her about that. Did I mention Nanogirl? Oh, that's right. Nanogirl is going to be coming up real soon. In fact, in 22 minutes time, Nanogirl will be coming up. It's going to be a good show, as it always is with the Nanogirl. Now, when it comes to the WoW signal we were talking about there, I don't know if this actually leads to anything like alien contact. But I find it interesting when we're talking about this candidate planet, this star that they're looking at, just like the sun. It's got a world just like Earth, and it was just in the right part of the sky to be sending wow signals out there. Yes, so hey, listen, maybe it is some ET, maybe it's some amateur astronomer up there on 2 Mass 1928-1982-2640-123. You see, I've got its digits, I got its phone number, and I didn't even have to buy it a drink. So listen, folks, I am almost out of time. In fact, I am out of time. I'd love to stay here longer, but I would love more if we could all reconvene in 20 minutes and listen to Nanogirl. Now, I'll be over on tfrlive.com. I'll also be over in the disco. Probably just audio in the disco today. We had a problem with the recording yesterday when I was trying to stream it into disco. I tell you, too many things going on at once, but we'll try it. I uploaded last night's show, like I say, that's over on KBS, the main channel. The first 12 minutes of that, it's just graphics and things, because, like I say, Streamlabs didn't play ball last night. So if you can join me very, very soon, 20 minutes time, I'd love it. Nanogirl would love you to be there as well. She loved the monolith. She's going to be talking about it. She just messaged me on Skype there. So that is definitely going to be on our agenda tonight. And we hope that we give you something to think about along the way. We provide, not just I decide tonight, we provide, you decide. Because remember, you're the most important person in your universe. And you're all bloody awesome. Never forget it. I'll be back tomorrow. If you can't make the Nanogirl show tonight, same time, same place, roughly. And tomorrow on the show, we have got Mr. Nacy. So that's going to be another good one right here on KBS Live.